Hi everybody, my name is Danny and this is my vlog, which of course means video blog or video log. Um, it's basically, for those of you who are new, for me a vlog is basically, could be something that I just feel like talking about, things that interest me, things that are on my mind, something neat that happened maybe today or during the week or during the last few weeks even. Maybe it's just something that I want to get off my chest, vent, or send a message. Could be anything really. So, um, what's the date today? Today is today is Tuesday, December 12th, 2017, and it's 10:01 a.m. here. And yeah, so right now, I'm actually presently in St. John's. That's the name of the city. St. John's, Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the name of the province. And it's in the country of Canada. So I just wanted to start off because this is the world of YouTube, the world of the internet, which is very big, and a lot of people don't know where every place in the world is. So I just wanted to give you guys a little idea of where I am. So I have my cool globe here. And so, okay. So we have I've got my little pointer here, my little laser pointer. Okay, you can see the laser pointer. Maybe that'll help a little bit. And so, if we can see here, a lot of you are from the US, so my geography isn't that great either. So, this is Havana, which is very south. Just want to make sure here. Okay, we got Florida here. And here, Los Angeles. So that's on the west coast, which is the opposite because we're on the east coast. So here, we're up here in Canada. Canada here. And the east coast, you have all the maritime provinces or the Atlantic provinces. Here's Quebec. And Newfoundland would be right there. Yeah, right there. Very east coast. Okay? Yeah, so let's see. Anyone out there from South America? All right? Like Brazil and so forth, right? Anyone out there from Africa? Like Algeria or Libya or Mali? Anyone out there from going to unload the guitar for a second. Make things a little easier on me. Anyone here from the Russian Federation? Right? I'm just pointing at that. Here we have, my geography is so rusty. Australia, right? Where's New Zealand? New Zealand is a small island right next to it. Why can I not find New Zealand? This is embarrassing. I'm sorry for the people. I can do it. I can find it. This is why I have a globe. So that oh, okay. I did not give up, which is good. That is New Zealand. And we're back. Whereas it's kind of always hard to find, I find the border, the southern border of the US where Mexico is, but maybe that's another project for me for another time. And I also wanted to show a little bit of the Middle East too. So this here is Saudi Arabia, right? And a little bit of Europe, the boot. Italy. And one more. China. 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 Okay. It's always good to brush up on my geography a little bit. Pardon my ignorance for a lot of those places, but if you're where you are, your responsibility lies into the place that you are locally, right? So why would it matter so much where other jurisdictions or even other countries or foreign countries that are very far from you are, right? I don't think very many people know of countries, faraway countries from themselves. Why would they, right? Unless people are journalists or working globally or something like that. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was have a few different things that I wanted to talk about today. And the first thing is I organize soccer pickup games, and so a lot of people follow me because of that, and I kind of like to update that group here because it's just easier and it's a better medium, I find. We had a game on Saturday. On Saturday there was a good turnout. We played on the green court, and the green court is a good change because we've been playing in the other court mostly for this indoor season. The green court it's an okay service. I don't really mind it. The game was high energy. There was lots of hustling. There was a lot of nice goals. There was good passing, good dribbling, good shooting, lots of running, and lots of good sportsmanship. A few guys suggested to me that we not use the nets because they thought it would just save some time. But playing with the nets is a lot better than without nets, especially for those paying $6.15. They deserve a lot better, right? Soccer is a game, obviously, that's played with nets, and the nets have to be of a certain standard too, right? So if people play with me, I keep a certain standard, right? And I will not go beyond a certain standard, right? I'm not going to just play under inadequate conditions. That's just not acceptable, right? It's just not the game of soccer. We're not like little elementary children here, right? I just wanted to also say that Saturday's game was the last. Saturday's game was the last. Oh, okay. Saturday's game was the last one for 2017. People are writing exams and going home, so this is a good time to break. Our next game will be sometime in January 2018. I will keep you guys posted, right? So, which means I usually post the games in my Facebook group. So if you could just keep checking that Facebook group, then the next one, in, like I said, January 28th, it'll pop up eventually. Regarding this past semester of indoor season, I was very happy. Every game had a really good turnout. Sometimes people said the turnout was a little too good, but I'm happy about that. Okay, so I'm going to move on next, and I wanted to talk about the weather. I'm kind of happy with the weather here in St. John's. There's no snow yet, whereas in most of other parts of Canada there has been snow for a while, and quite a bit of snow. So we've been lucky here in the St. John's and Newfoundland. I also wanted to talk about I also wanted to talk about the St. John's Edge. So the St. John's Edge is a new professional basketball team here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. they're pro, but definitely a lot lower in tier than the NBA, way below, right? Um, they had an impressive opening home weekend. The first game was actually sold out, which was great. That was on a Saturday, and then the next day on Saturday, sorry, that was on a Friday, and then the next day, which was Saturday, they had another game, and they sold a few thousand for that, and which was a good number. So people are pretty happy with that. I guess they have to um, hit a certain number in attendance just to break even, right? So that definitely broke even, if not was a little profitable, I think. But really, only time will tell, though, right? It's the flavor of the week. And just like anything, when there's any new restaurant or whatever, people will tend to flock um, to, like I said, a restaurant for that first week. And then after that first week, it sort of stabilize, the numbers stabilize, right? So it's hard to say whether what the numbers are going to be like in the future, right? Personally, um, I when it comes to basketball, I will watch university or college level, or obviously the NBA. Really, nothing below, nothing below the NBA level, or nothing in between college, university, and NBA. It's kind of like that. To me, it's kind of like that level that's sort of just kind of below professional, which is, I know it's not nice to say, but you have a lot of the leftover players, right? Like a lot of the players that people don't want and stuff, and so it's just not that appealing for me. However, like if friends or stuff are going and they ask me to go, well, I wouldn't want to be rude to them, so sure I would go, but other than that, I can't see myself going and definitely not paying for that. But that's just me, right? Um, Next thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to congratulate the Toronto FC for winning the Major League Soccer Cup, and then MLS Cup. It's nice to see a Canadian team win that championship, right? So soccer, it's good for Canada. Hard to say. The MLS, it's funny because I understand that there was an MLS team in Edmonton, and they just announced just last week, I think, that all of a sudden they were terminating that team. And kind of when I was on social media going through it, people from Edmonton or even Alberta didn't even know there was an MLS team in Edmonton. Neither did I, right? So, like, I think like in Toronto, it's very popular because it's such an international city, and soccer is such an international sport. So I can see it being popular in the Toronto area, but um, I I don't know exactly. I don't really follow the MLS, but if I can remember right, they have a team in Montreal. They have a team in, like I said, Toronto. They used to have one in Edmonton, and they have one in Vancouver, right? So that's really not that many, considering the size of Canada. So it's definitely a growing sport. Um, it's growing in terms of like being amongst children in Canada. Like it's one of the most popular sports in numbers regarding participation. I think it's almost even surpassed hockey. But when it comes to like the professional level or like I said, the teams are very few, and outside of Toronto and Vancouver, I think they do okay in Toronto, Vancouver. Maybe not so much Vancouver. I'm not too sure about that, but outside of that, I think they really struggle. I think it's very hard for people sometimes to find watching soccer appealing. I know I play it, but I struggle with watching it too, right? In any league also. So I can sort of see where that problem arises. Um, Next, I wanted to talk about movies, right? I've talked about this before where I love movies. So the latest thing is the movie, the movie Star Wars: The Last Jedi is coming to theaters this month. It's getting good reviews so far. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Luke Skywalker. I'm a big Luke Skywalker or Mark Hamill fan. And so I just certainly hope that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, plays a big role in this movie. So it's kind of like seeing how like the old meets new, right? Because for people who don't really recall, the original trilogy started in like the late 70s and ended in the 80s. The third one being Return of the Jedi. And then the prequel, the pre-trilogy that went ahead in the 90s. And then all of a sudden, they're going with this next continuation in the series. So it's funny because when you watch like Return of the Jedi or the original trilogy, you see the cast of Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, and Harrison Ford, Han Solo, and Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, and they're just extremely young. Where fast forward to now, they're so kind of old, right? It's just such a weird sort of thing to see, but it's kind of good where at least they're still kind of part of it. So it's kind of good to still see like Mark Hamill like in the movies after all these years. Although age and time doesn't happen for everyone. If you think of Carrie Fisher, who just died recently also, right? So we'll never have the chance to see her in any more movies, and that kind of sucked because it would have been really interesting to see like how the directors and producers were going to tie in Princess Leia, like Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, how they were going to tie it into like this last trilogy, right? Assuming this was their last trilogy, it probably was. But now that she died, it sort of ruined that, right? Whereas in the newest trilogy, they were very conservative, and out of all of the original trilogy, it was weird. They only brought back Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, and Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. I'm pretty sure it was just those three, right? So now, as I said, with Carrie Fisher, who died in real life, and Han Solo is not in it anymore, and so there's basically just Luke. So I'm not sure sort of how they're going to sort of wrap him up or fit him into the scheme of the timeline, right? So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was, if you're wondering why I have an acoustic guitar right here, well, this is the reason. I've done this before, I've talked about this before, but I'm pretty much still kind of an amateur guitarist. I took 3 courses locally. So the way it was divided here was there was a beginner course, then there was an intermediate course, and then there was an advanced course. I took all 3, I survived, and so I've been on my own ever since, and just slowly trying to get better. Guitar is all about practice. Sometimes it's hard to find time to practice, sometimes you don't feel so motivated, and so forth. But I just sometimes just wanted to just show you guys a little bit of my progression, remembering again that I'm just a beginner still, not very good. So today I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing learning the E minor chord, the E minor chord. So the E minor chord, it's a very good learning chord. It's a very basic chord. Although it's one of the first chords that people learn. It's a chord that was used in "About a Girl" by Nirvana. It was also used in "Don't Cry" with Guns N' Roses, and "Nothing Else Matters" with Metallica. Right, so it's a very nice chord. So here, for the E minor chord, remember, for those who are sort of beginners, I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything on camera here, because I'm sort of definitely no professional camera person either. So, okay, I think I got everything on the screen here so that you guys can see it. So remember that guitars are divided into frets, right? So like this area is the first fret, this is the second fret, this is the third fret, the fourth fret, fifth fret, and so on. So for the E minor, we use the second fret, which is this area. So for the E minor, we use the index finger. The index finger, some people call it the pointer finger, or using the index finger. So the index finger, the index finger goes on the A string, which is right here. And then the middle finger goes on the D string. So like I said, the middle finger goes on the D string, which is here. So let's see how this sounds. This guitar I should probably try to retune it again. I'm not that good with tuning guitars either. That sound, that thumping sound, where it's kind of like you feel as if like you're flicking like piece of metal that's just reverberating without really any sound. That's something that, if you're a beginner, that happens. With practice, you're supposed to kind of be able to get away from that. So I still seem to have that problem. Or it might just be too that my guitar is it's a very nice, the E minor chord is very nice for that chord when it's played in Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. So let me see if I can try that. It's kind of like when you watch someone play the E minor on For Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. It looks so easy when you just watch them or watch a video or watch a YouTube video of them doing that. But when you try myself, you find it to be so hard just to even do that, where just watching a YouTube video of them looks so simple. But that's just something that I have to work on. Hopefully, maybe by my next video, I'll be able to do it. Seems like I don't think I'll be able to do it this time. Yep. So as you can see, myself being a beginner, even though the E minor is a very basic sort of chord, I obviously find it challenging, right? So, and the big thing is about practice, right? So people will say kind of, even if it's just like 10 minutes or 5 minutes every day, right? And it doesn't even have to really be every single day. That's what you can just start off with, right? But it's to have that consistency, right? And getting used to, getting rid of that thumping sound that I talked about, right? And getting the feel of the chords and making it sound smooth, right? And then later on, it's about being able to know the chords and memorize it. And I've heard later on that once you know the basics, it's just pretty simple to just add on little things, right? And it becomes like more interesting. But anyways, just wanted to share my acoustic guitar journey with you guys, and hopefully by my next video my acoustic guitar skills will be a little better, and I can show you guys something, a little bit of improvement. And so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I just wanted to say thank you for watching this YouTube video. Thank you for watching all of my YouTube videos, and make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which means that there's a subscribe button. Just click on that, and when you click on that, you'll get notifications. It'll tell you whenever I'm posting a new video. You'll be able to interact with me and all that good stuff, right? So I think that's about it. All right, so peace out.